Alright, let's break the post block, the block that the Demichev actually has put between us. It also might help because there are some of the creatures that are currently repelled, but if we just happen to deactivate some of the electric fields, we might be, you know, in a spot enough where we can cross, because the soldiers will be too busy killing, you know, with each other with the creatures. Essentially, Dej, what you lost in the what you missed in the previous part was that we need to reach a place called the Cooker, which is basically a gigantic atomic, you know, engine, where we need to power up the bomb that we acquired from the wreck of a ship. No one's here. Okay, moving on.
So it would seem.
It's too quiet. Oh, for fuck's
sake. There we go.
Hey, now it's not quiet.
Ow.
What is this thing? Like a blast? Oh, go on.
Thankfully, the minigun definitely helps against these monstrosities.
I bet. It's like that thing's a blast tail-ended skewt.
Yeah, I still don't understand what the creature is supposed to exactly be design-wise. Is it yet another one of those offices that are locked from one end, so you need to find a way to actually open them? I don't remember if I actually managed to bust it in or not, but just in case... there you go. This one is a simple puzzle where you need to lower the plate, lower and, you know, rise up the plate thanks to, there you go, by, you know, decomposing, quote unquote, one barrel that was on one. Pretty easy stuff. There you go, by getting inside here. We dropped into the office. Also, wonder where the music went. I know that this game has a lot of quiet moments, you know, that do help potentially. But sometimes there is just no music for the sake of it. I think Bioshock still had some kind of music, even in the more quiet moments, even in a more intelligent way by having it being in-universe played on a radio, potentially. So we really need help on that front.
Yeah, some games do that.
Hello? Okay.
Hi.
Still no one.
We jump scare.
Surprisingly, that you kind of missed the jump scares. We were both in the previous part, and again, the game really had no reason to do that. They just did because it was way too late to actually be, you know, a core established part of it, and we're not even that impactful or actually scary. Oh shit.
Sound like he's well.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh dear.
And the burst, well, it doesn't seem to be that much of a problem in terms of, you know, power level of a creature. But we need to get into that office in order to locate the gas mask. And for this particular upcoming set piece, you are required to get the gas mask because we're going to infiltrate into a radioactive area. It's kind of, yeah, it's a bit similar to one of the early, well, already from the early area, but it's repeated a bit after one of the infected area in The Last of Us. Some of these blueprints that you're getting now in the ending part of the game are more for abilities and perks which you can equip like one at a time. But I do believe that the stuff that you get at the beginning on that front is more fine than anything. Again, when it comes to the upgrade, just focus on, again, your health, your TMD capacity, stuff like that. Thank you. No hard feelings.
Gas mask,
There you go.
that's sure to come in handy.
We need to use it right now. And we even get a slight HUD change. With Troy Baker actually doing a Darth Vader impression.
Yeah, I was about to say. What?
It's funny because it reminds me of Dark Void and how really pointless the helmet was in the grand scheme of him. Guess what, Dej? In that game, your protagonist does start, with his head completely, uncovered, because he's a pirate and everything. But later on, as it's shown also in the game cover, you do get, a sci-fi helmet, which is repurposed from one of the robot enemies. So, take a look at Dej, what that thing, because it's a sci-fi style helmet, and the plot-wise, it's kind of making a big deal the fact that your character actually is given to it's given to him, and the cutscene focuses on him putting it up and everything in order to have an iconic design. Take a more guess what that actually does in game, Dej.
Nothing.
No, that was Pedro's guess, but you're wrong. It slightly changes your HUD, so instead of actually being compact and beige colored, it's actually a bit, curved and blue colored. That's it.
What?
I mean, it is better than nothing, I suppose, but still, kind of a letdown.
Is there an option to change it back, or...?
No, because it only happens at one point where your helmet is actually taken away from you and you have to actually get it back, so you get to the previous HUD. So there is that.
Was that game good?
I had some fun the first time I played it. But it's one of those games where the more you play it, the more you're like, no, this is just not working. I like the concept, and I do believe that if given proper time and actual effort, it probably would have turned out to be fine. But no, this wasn't it. And like
so
said,
this was during the Capcom Western push era, right?
Yes, it was actually done, I think, in between 2008 and 2010. I forgot which specific year. I can also tell you this, that from my personal experience, and you know me, what do I think of Capcom games done around that time. While characters like Azura or even Nilin from Remember Me, I do perfectly believe they are perfectly integrated with the cosmology of the Capcom IPs and have potential showcasing, in crossovers. The protagonist of Dark Void is incredibly bland, generic, and doesn't really have much aside from a jetpack that actually makes him stand out to be very present. So let me put it this way. If people had a problem with Spencer in Marvel Infinite, they would have had much more problems with this guy potentially showing up, trust me. Alright, now we need to play a bit with the other powers of the TMD. What we need to do is to actually open up the garage, and at that point use the TMD, slow down sphere in order to actually... There you go, already doing this, so that it manages to not close down immediately on us, thus allowing us to, there we go, like this. And if we do it like so, and then sprint towards it, we should be able to actually move. Fuck.
Yeah, that's clever.
It is. That's the thing. It's one of the few instances of a puzzle like this being given to you at this point of the game. They are a bit. That's the thing. They are a bit scarce and not frequent, and for some reason, kind of blindsiding you a bit. But they're cool nonetheless. There we go. Hopefully I will find, there you go, oxygen tanks. Yeah, similar to the torch mechanic in Dark Souls 2. In this case, you just need to find the oxygen tanks, and your character just gobbles them up. Like that. Oh shit. Yeah, about that. Bye. This is what happened and why the E99 leaked in the area. because of unfortunate accidents like that. Yeah. What we need to do is to open up the.
Remember to secure all canisters before transporting them.
Well, yeah, that didn't really work out. Let's open up here.
Locate the gas mask and evacuate the facility immediately. This is not a drill.
No, it's an alarm.
Thankfully, still thanks to the gas mask, we're immune to the 99 radiation. Apparently, sorry. Apparently, the suits of our protagonist is enough also to contain the radiation. Like, don't get me wrong, I can't believe it. I could believe it under normal circumstances, but the fact that our character is supposed to be a quote-unquote normal marine soldier, meaning that he probably went into this expedition with a proper anti-radiation suit, makes it kind of weird.
Keep moving.
Alright, now we don't need any more the gas mask. It's the only one level where we need an air meter. There we go. Now we're actually on the top of the actual block post that Demichev actually built, meaning that what we need to do now is to find a way to cause an accident and deactivate the current, shut down the perimeter defenses, so that the monsters will actually be busy fighting the soldiers and vice versa.
Ah, neat.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it reminds me of those special... the special concoctions in BioShock that allow you to turn one enemy onto another.
Mm-hmm.
Get quite some mileage out of that.
Also the ones that okay, I don't think they're necessarily the same ones, but yeah, they're also the ones that allow you to get a generous discount at the shops.
Only that looks true in real life.
Well, given that it involves mind-controlled whibs, I don't know.
It's reminded me of.
Yes, Pedro.
Oh, go on. The whibs finish.
It depends. It depends, Jova. Not say use it all the time, because that shit's whack. Like, come on, man. I meant like for things that are unreasonably expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me the whibs of one of your things that you did during our Deadly Premonition run. I noticed that every time I would go shave with York, I would say, "Oh, and I got $20 for shaving," and you would always say, "If only it were that simple."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because really, every time I see something like that in fiction, I just get really sad thinking, why can't it be like that in real life?
There was also a point where Gina was washing our car by just rubbing it with no soap and everything, and you even said, if only washing the car was that simple.
Yeah, I sometimes I wish I was in a video game, because life would be more simple.
Be careful what you wish for. Becomes a Pokemon RPG, only forced to save one thing.
Someone's
Not too bad,
bitter.
actually.
Well,
Duosis, the guy who talks about science technology, is amazing.
It is.
And so does that mean that you're the Jungle Girl scientist then, Dudge?
Professor
No.
Sada, yes, please.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean,
No,
Professor
I'm talking about the guy who's in every Pokemon game that
Yeah,
tells
the one
you
at the
that-
beginning who's actually no Pokemon trainer, but he's always amazed that the technology allows you to do marvelous things.
Oh, I legit thought
I just
Yoink.
realized.
I legit thought you were talking about the scientist for Pokemon Violet.
Oh,
given
Giga
how-
Chad? No.
Like, that's the thing. He seems to be the
I mean,
few-
Mr. Fantastic, the Edge.
No, I mean Kit from Nintendo Minute, because he looks exactly like him.
Like, no, I mean, seriously, though. Like, it's weird how they designed that guy to look pretty much like the Giga Chad meme. And then you got Professor Sada, who is all types of right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
She's a scientist who also dresses like Tarzan. What's not to love?
Because she believes in the past. She's one with nature.
That seems to be the central focus of Generation 9, past versus the future.
They better add Clement on that game.
Which makes me wonder, what is gonna be themed for, you know, the legendary Pokemon that stands usually in the middle of the others, you know, the equivalent to, say, Rayquaza.
Let's see, past, future, maybe something for the present.
Something of the present, but what does that encapsulate?
Super Rayquaza.
Because we had
it has
already
to be
Tears Hero.
It has to be a motorcycle.
Rayquaza as a motorcycle.
No, because you look at both legendaries; they're based off motorcycles.
I guess.
Yeah, look at the center of their chest. Their wheels.
There's also speculation by the time we're recording this, but they're also rideable apparently.
God, I just hope they bring back changing your outfits because I hate the default costumes.
Oops! Someone accidentally deactivated the current. That was very clumsy.
Oh, what a klutz! Have you heard the leak that suggests that apparently one of the grass Pokemon is going to get
Springatito.
Apparently they're going to get like a Primarina-esque evolution.
It hurts so much.
Honestly, Daz, what's wrong if they get feminine looks to it?
Because furry baits.
Oh my god, Daz. Really? You gotta let that one go.
Seriously, like, oh, why does that bother you so much?
Because, like, because I read, it's gonna have a godlike stats. I was like, oh, good, thank god, the grass starter is good this time. And furry bait, monkey's fault.
Hey, look. Knowing if it's like Generation 7, then most of them will be male anyway, despite the feminine appearance. That's what happened with Primarina.
That's always been an interesting component. Like, I forgot how much the percentage is starting with Gen 2 that your starter, when you picked it up, might be female.
I believe it's.
I think most. Like,
I believe it's 87.5%.
Higher male ratio.
Okay. If I recall correctly, it's usually 87.5% male. Let me just check to be sure.
It's so weird. It's trying to bust up the door. Yeah, something tells me I should probably deal with the monster first and the soldiers later.
Oh my god, I was right. Okay, Primarina. 87.5% male, 12.5% female.
That's weird.
Hey, who says a guy can't be cute and feminine while also kicking ass? That do be...
That's been a thing since Gen 3 with Gardevoir.
Yeah, especially its Japanese name is called Sir Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Gardevoir...
I just don't like the Poplio one.
What, were you one of the ones that preferred that fake leak design?
Yeah, I wish they could go with the horror cloud, the sweet tooth like inspired thing. Like,
why? That one was ugly.
It was terrifying and it's hilarious.
Wow, you really want the kids to be traumatized, don't you?
F them kids.
Someday they may be your kids.
I'm joking.
Also, I still think that Sidwai should have got his mask instead of Incineroar.
I mean, I'm fine with Incineroar getting in.
It's more of a case of we already had a third-rate fire starter and third-rate water starter.
Look at the bright side. Charizard. At least Score Bunny didn't get in as the Gen 8 rep for Smash.
That was the most surprising thing to me, the fact that we managed to, despite being a constant thing, Damocles sword upon our head, we managed to get through the entire pass without an actual Gen 8 Pokemon. Yeah. That was surprising.
I'm still waiting for the time when they actually mix it up and instead have starters that are not water, fire, and grass. Like, could have something they were like, how about electric, dark, and steel?
I guess to be fair...
Pikachu, and there's Lucario.
Well, okay, yeah, there's Pokemon Yellow. That you start with.
When was Lucario a starter Pokemon?
I'm sorry, I thought Pokemon in general.
I was talking about starters.
Yeah.
That said, I can get why they stick to the usual bouts here and there. Normally they expand them into being a dual type with the evolutions and whatnot. Usually with those 3 pillars, they're often good starts overall.
It's also because those are more accessible, you know, types who become powerful very fast, so they're actually good for someone who wants to need to start properly building a team.
They also aren't overpowered like, say, the dragon class, which up until like the time
it depends, Jova. At least for a very long time, the water type has always been the more dominant one for simple slight advantage and the fact that it could learn moves to counter everything else.
Greninja can know aerial ace.
Even so, almost every water Pokemon can learn also Ice Beam. You know?
Yeah. Greninja also had Protean, I forgot what it's called, the hidden ability. That was like whatever, like say it uses Ice Beam, it then becomes an ice type.
Alright.
Oh, that's abusable. and then they gave it to Score Bunny. I was like, okay.
Why?
Because Score Bunny do be awesome that way.
Fucking rabbit with Adidas
Hey,
pants.
look. At least it didn't turn into a giant feminine rabbit like a lot of people were speculating it would.
I thought it was going to turn into the main character from Summer Wars.
Eh?
If I recall correctly, it has like a rabbit, you know, anthropomorphic rabbit avatar.
Yeah. Basically, Summer Wars is the movie that Mamoru Hosoda did to expand upon the middle section of the Digimon movie. The one
And apparently was completely endorsed by Warner Bros. Japan. So you know what that means, Jova? That can actually get into multiverses.
Speaking of which, I've heard somewhere that Sonic may be in multiverses.
Sure.
Source, dude, trust me.
Oh, not just that. I can tell you this, because those were actual things. People who actually data mined the game found all sorts of weird objects, including, for some reason, not necessarily an item, but like a stage background kind of element, which is Aang's glider from Last Airbender, which is Nickelodeon instead.
Wait.
So it makes
When
no
you
sense
say
to
Last
me.
Airbender, do you mean the show or the movie?
Yeah, sure. Aang's glider, Jova.
Well, he has the glider in the movie too.
Yeah, he does.
I forgot.
Yeah, but the thing people actually give a crap about.
Again, he does have it in the movie as well, so just wanted to specify.
No. It's the one from the cartoon.
Well, to my understanding, nobody is off limits.
I just want to wait until the game is in a closed state, and when the devs actually do make proper statements before jumping one way or another.
Because 11 from Stranger Things, there's models there.
That's another thing weirdly.
I will say this. I'm cautiously optimistic about the game. Let me put it like this. The only reason I am definitely wary of it is that it's free to play. And more often than not, when a game is free to play, there's usually a hell of a catch to go with it. Now, that's not to say that free to play games can't just be good in their own right, but
you also have to remember that, sadly enough, Warner Bros. Does not have the best track record when it comes to applying free-to-play models, for some of its games, like Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor or Injustice 2, for example.
And one thing that did definitely get leaked is that there's apparently going to be a battle pass of sorts for it.
That has to be expected, considering, again, free-to-play and everything. Anyway, for this section, you need to find a moving platform that can actually take you over the bridge while the soldiers are busy fighting the creatures over there. So you'll get to have the first seat to actually witness that.
What is
sorry.
it?
There you go.
Right.
We just got the rocket launcher for that.
Wonderful.
So, wait a minute. The game is called Singularity.
Yes.
Is the guy we're playing single?
You do know what a singularity in a scientific manner is, right?
Demichev?
Yeah.
Of course he does.
Alright,
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah,
for me,
I think I do anyway.
Alright, describe
Well,
it for us then.
hold on. What do you think it is? essentially, Dweebs, it's essentially a unexplainable event with catastrophic, circumstances surrounding it.
Ah, so I was right the first time if it happens with...
It's a bit more... I really gave you just a very crude summation of that. It's much more complicated than that. For the purpose of this game, the Singularity has been an unexpected explosion from the 99, which caused a chain event, that had mutated everything else, and allegedly has caused some time disruptions.
Basically, a singularity is sort of a hypothetical. Sorry, it's a hypothetical future of sorts. The reason it's called a singularity is it's just one single moment in time that is a massive veering off. However, in some stories and bouts, it can still affect the flow of time here and there.
There we go. Let's open up.
Excuse
And now
me.
we're actually about to reach the cooker properly.
Goody.
Thankfully, these base creatures are actually easy to deal with, even with the TND. Those were the same ones that we fought at the beginning of the game.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, the place is a bit in disrepair, so...
You should be seeing a rift by now.
No, not really.
Use it to find the activation code. We'll need to recharge the E99 bomb.
Essentially, what we need to do is to find a conveniently placed rift, go back to the past and get some activation codes that we can use right now.
Well, it's just simple that way, of course.
Mm-hmm. We're probably gonna do that, in the next part, technically, but for the time being, we're actually reaching the, the actual, portal properly.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to a
You know,
more
I'm half
colloquial...
expecting in this game at some point I'm half expecting in this game for you to casually just press the button, but then the whole world blows up because it was the wrong one.
Thankfully, it doesn't happen. I know it's Soviet technology and everything, but that's thankfully doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
that's one thing I know. I mean, it's stuff like Chernobyl can testify. Soviet technology, in spite of how they boasted it, really
Was
wasn't.
not on point, yeah. Alright, see you for the next part where we travel back to the past once more to retrieve those codes. See ya.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.